Welcome back to America Right Now. I'm Tom Basile. 60 years ago, back in 1963, Florida Congressman Albert Sidney Herlong Jr. read into the congressional record on the House floor the 45 tactics communists would use to remake American society. He drew these from a book entitled The Naked Communist by former FBI employee W. Cleon Skousen. Domestic threats to American freedom have been quietly simmering for decades, and now they're coming to a boil. And for those who refuse to believe that what they see and hear tearing at the heart of the nation is part of a larger strategy to eviscerate America, Skousen and Herlong's early warning should change minds. Here are just a few of those 45 points that prove, folks, there are no accidents or coincidences. It's all part of a plan to conquer America from within. Understanding this plan means that there's no excuse to allow this to happen to our country. Number one, U.S. acceptance of coexistence as the only alternative to atomic war. Both parties have gone soft, often unwilling to recognize that peace and freedom come through strength and the willingness to use that strength to deter oppression or maintain order. It's a very big problem, and we need a new mindset. Number four, permit free trade with all nations regardless of communist affiliation. America has allowed China to dominate industries and markets, even giving the communist nation access to our land, energy, and food supplies, all in the name of free trade. America has outsourced its manufacturing, even our most sensitive and critical products. Number 11. Promote the UN as the only hope for mankind. Demand that it set up a one-world government with its own independent armed forces. Running to the United Nations and other multilateral organizations has been put on steroids in the era of climate change doomsdayism, population control extremism, trans rights, and the dictatorship of public health. It's a direct threat to our sovereignty. Number 15. Capture one or both of the political parties in the United States. Well, today's Democrat Party is controlled by the money and the people who are driving this leftist agenda. Number 16, use the technical decisions of the courts to weaken basic American institutions by claiming they violate civil rights. The constant cries of racism are not random. They have been part of the Communist Party playbook for decades. Leftists have leveraged the courts masterfully to advance their agenda through activist judges rather than elected legislators. Number 17, and this is a big one, folks, get control of the schools. Use them as transmission belts for socialism and current communist propaganda. Soften the curriculum, get control of the teachers' associations, and put the party line in the textbooks. All of this stuff is happening now. Few can argue that the AFT and other teachers' unions are far-left associations that drive anti-American messages while standards and test scores plummet. Numbers 20 and 21, infiltrate the press, gain control of key positions in radio, TV, and motion pictures. From CNN to Disney to big tech, leftist ideology dominates the communications platforms used by Americans every day. Conservatives allowed that to happen. Number 24, eliminate all laws governing obscenity by calling them censorship and a violation of free speech. Number 25, break down cultural standards of morality by promoting pornography and obscenity. Folks, diminishing the sacredness of the human body and personal privacy degrades self-respect and individual self-worth. It's priming people for state control. Number 27, infiltrate the churches and replace revealed religion with social religion, discredit the Bible, and emphasize the need for intellectual maturity. Number 28, eliminate prayer or any phase of religious expression in schools. Remember, this was 60 years ago, folks. This is the playbook. Religion, after all, is incompatible with communism and socialism's demand of total fidelity to the state. Social religions today include the transgender movement and climate cultism. The LGBTQIA+ lobby is breaking up the United Methodist Church right now. Media and corporations routinely attack Catholicism. Number 29, discredit the American Constitution by calling it inadequate and old-fashioned and out of step. Number 30, discredit the American founding fathers and then belittle all forms of American culture and discourage the teaching of American history. Remember when President Trump said the left would come for George Washington and everybody laughed? Well, he was right. The founding fathers are now presented as slave-owning aristocrats rather than enlightened heroes. Alternative histories like the 1619 Project and critical race theory are embedded in our school curriculums. Number 35, discredit and eventually dismantle the FBI. The FBI has arguably been corrupted and co-opted from within for years. Now some Republicans are calling for its defunding. They would do well to remember communist sympathizers 60 years ago wanted to dismantle it entirely. Number 37, infiltrate and gain control of big business. The left is doing this through ESG and DEI movements that buttress its climate change, religion, and radical social engineering. Number 40, discredit the family as an institution, encourage promiscuity and easy divorce, emphasize the need to raise children away from the negative influence of parents. From abortion and militant feminism to trans activist schools, Democrats are tearing at the very existence of the family and parental rights. Number 42, this is another big one. Create the impression that violence and insurrection are legitimate aspects of the American tradition. Democrats have routinely excused violence, vandalism, looting, burglary, and even murder as justifiable rage and ways to express dissatisfaction with alleged injustices. Thousands of Black Lives Matter and Antifa rioters will never be prosecuted. And finally, number 45, allowed the World Court to seize jurisdiction over our domestic issues. Democrats are big fans of giving the International Criminal Court and United Nations-affiliated organizations more authority over our lives. It should come as no surprise that the hand-picked special counsel in the Trump classified documents case, Jack Smith, worked at the International Criminal Court for years. There's the playbook, folks. We've known it for decades. There's no excuse to now allow its advance.